Hi, my name is Brian Rakovic with Heat Seal, located in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm going to show you some basic setup parameters on our combination shrink wrap system. In this particular case, we're showing our brand new HDX 350 combination system, one of the largest in the industry. Typically, the first step is determining the film size, and the film size is based on the size of the product. What we typically do is we measure the dimension, we measure the height of the product, plus the width of the product across the conveyor, and then we would add roughly about 3 inches to that. So in this case, I have about a 1-inch high product, 8 inches wide is 9 plus another 3. A minimum film size to use on a product like this would be about 12 inches. If we go to a larger product, again, I would take these, depending on how I'm going to run it on the system, I'm going to measure the height of the product vertically, plus the width of the product, plus about 3 inches. In this case, I'm looking at about 3 inches plus 15 plus another 3. I would normally be using about an 18-inch center folded shrink film. The next step is positioning the location of the loading tray. The position is based upon the width of the product across the conveyor. The idea is to have the loading tray positioned so that the product will be just on the inside edge of the seal pad, and the back edge will be in the loading tray. To do that, I simply put the product in toward the back edge of the loading tray, and then the tray can simply be slid over so that when I'm loading this onto the seal area, the inside edge is close to the inside of the seal pad, and the back edge is on the back edge of the loading tray. Obviously, for a larger product, if I put a larger product into position, you can see at this point the seal arm would come right down on the product. So I need to move the product to the back edge of the machine, again adjusting so that this inside edge is just inside the seal pad and the back edge is on the back edge of the seal tray. The next step is positioning the roll of film in relationship to the loading tray. If I load my product in and position the tray in the right position, what I want to then do is adjust the roll of film so that the back edge or the folded edge of the film roughly lines up with the edge of the tray. If I go to a much larger product and I move the loading tray into position, you want to see it starts tugging on the film, so the first thing I want to do is move the film roll all the way back. Position the loading tray in the proper position, and then simply slide the loading tray again to adjust the back edge or the folded edge of the film with the back edge of the loading tray. The next step in setting up your heat seal combination shrink system is adjusting the vertical seal height. You always want to have the seal centered at about the halfway point of the height of the product. So if I place my product in position, I can see that where the seal knife meets the pad is roughly half the height of the package or in the center of the package vertically. If I go to a taller or a deeper product, you can see now that the seal line would be much too low. What we can then simply do is by raising or lowering, or in this case we're actually lowering the seal pad, we're now at the height that's about the seal height at about half the height of the product, which is the position you want. The next step in setting up your Heat Seal HDX combination system is being able to center the product in the tunnel. When the product runs through the heat tunnel, you always want to make sure that the product is centered on the tunnel belt. The real beauty of the HDX system is the ability to move the tunnel very easily. So what I'll do is I'll place the product in position, and very simply by lifting the locking handle, I can move the tunnel over and position the product so that it will run through the center of the tunnel. If I go to a wider product, you can now see that if I try to run that, it's actually going to run into the edge of the tunnel. To adjust again, I very simply lift the locking handle and I can slide the tunnel into position so that the product is centered in the tunnel. In review, I'd like to cover the 5 basic steps for setting up your HDX combination system. Number 1, determining the proper film width. Number 2, positioning the loading tray in the proper position. Number 3, positioning the film tray in the proper position. Number 4, adjusting to the right seal height. And number 5, adjusting the tunnel position so the product's centered in the tunnel.